Are you guys able to see me? Are you guys able to see me? Are you guys able to see my screen too?
Yes.
Okay, so for the first part of the session, are you guys able to see me?
Yes.
For the first part of the session, I would ask you guys to keep yourself mute, and I'm still waiting for some more people to join. And then we'll get started with this session. So, right, so we have Sanjeev, we have Karam, we have Mariamma, we have Manjinder. All of you guys, because this session is live on YouTube. So if you have any of your friends, you may want to share this link with them. So I'm going to share the link with you guys on chat box. So if you see your chat box on Zoom, you'll be able to see that link and you can share with your friends as well. And if they have, they can post any questions. If they have, they can post any questions in comment box on YouTube. Or unfortunately, because this was supposed to be a session meant for the students who have registered with us already or who are enrolled with us, they won't be able to enter the Zoom meeting room, but they will be able to view this session live on YouTube. Okay, and you can comment directly there. I would have YouTube open on the other end too. So I'm going to check direct comments if I get any comments on YouTube so that I can answer your queries. If you have any questions, please do feel free to ask all of them. Right? Okay. So would you like to unmute yourself, everyone? Yeah, so if your background is noisy, then keep yourself silent, but if you're able to talk, that's fine. So I know some of you are in the class already, and I'm aware of that your progress. I have another person named Sanjeev. Sanjeev, can you hear me, Sanjeev?
Pardon?
Is very noisy. Yourself, I would say. But yes, if you have any questions, just need to move into a place where you have, there's no, background noise. All right, so I think that's all. We should start straight away. Now, first of all, I'm going to ask Manjinder, because you have lately done your exam, you have got a real exam experience. So what I would like you to do is, I would like you to explain, I would like you to share your experience about your exam with us. So anyone who is watching this session, even live or even they are watching it later, they have like real feedback from the person. You've done PT for the first time. What is the feeling, when you go to the exam center? What is the feeling? Explain us step by step so that we have a bit of insight, and that feedback can also help other students who are going to sit their exam. How should they prepare, and what is the feeling in exam hall? What kind of atmosphere you have? Talk about your feeling. Were you tense? Were you confident at the same time? Did you know what to do and what not to do? And remember, guys, I'm equally competent in 3 languages. English, obviously, and then I can also speak Hindi, and I can also speak Punjabi too. So if you have any sort of questions, you can even ask in any language, and I would be able to address them, right? Except for Mariama's language, right? So I'm still learning some South African languages, Mariama. Right.
Sure.
Okay, so Manjinder, yes, can you
Yes.
your experience, please?
Yeah, it was okay. Like it was fine. Like before the test, when I entered the center, it was very like like it wasn't easy. I was very confused and very stressed about that. Then just like I just sat for my test. It was fine because I forgot everything. Like okay, whatever I'm gonna do, I'll give my best. That's it. And yeah, it was a bit noisy. Well, the time of speaking, but still we can concentrate. It wasn't that much noisy that we can't like concentrate on our screen. um yeah, it was fine for me. So
Okay. So,
yes.
were you prepared? You knew what to expect. That is super important. If you know
Yeah.
what to expect on the exam day,
Yeah.
this is something that's important. Yes, we also have Priya. Priya, how are you, Priya? You're doing well?
Yes, sir.
That's good. All right. So what we are going to do, I know you guys can see my screen. You can also see my face, I believe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to straight away jump onto some practice with the read aloud. And I want to make this session interactive because I want to speak less. I want you guys to speak so that I can judge you and I can provide you some feedback on read aloud. You guys are aware that you watch a lot of videos, so much material is available on YouTube. Yeah, some of you are also taking organized coaching. So you have a lot of information there. But what we specifically want to emphasize today is just on the speaking questions and mainly read aloud. However, you're open to ask any questions anywhere so that I can give you a bit of feedback from my knowledge, from my experience. Been in the business for last 4 to 5 years. We have helped hundreds of students, and I have to say here, pinpoint here that we were able to assist many students who had done exam multiple times. And the moment we get a student like that and they have done exam multiple times, obviously they have wasted a lot of time and a lot of their money because probably they were not fine, they were not sort of going in the right direction, right? So if you're working hard in the right direction, that is super important. Unfortunately, guys, although this is a very so common word when we talk about PT, so trick is a very common word, right? So unfortunately there are no tricks to success. Success can be achieved by working hard and doing the right thing and knowing what to do, managing yourself while you're preparing for this most important exam of your life. Remember, after PT, you get your visa, you get your skill assessment. Some people get nursing registration. So whole heap of things, they start happening once you get this exam. So understand this is important. And another tip I have to give, especially that is applicable in speaking module, that don't consider that you're speaking for computer. That is your biggest mistake in speaking. Don't consider that you are doing PTE and you're being judged by computer. So make sure you understand that the PT is an English exam and you are giving all the responses to a real person. So if there is some meaning in those responses, you are automatically going to get good score. Okay, let's straight away jump onto this. So what I'm going to do, some of you have already access to our portal, but if you're watching this live video, if you guys have not got access to our study portal, so you can just follow these simple steps. So the first step is to go into your Google Chrome browser and then go to endeavorstudy.com.au. This is the website, and then you will enter here. And then after entering here, you will see this student login button here. So click on that button. If you guys are enrolled students, you will click enrolled button here. If not, then you click guest user. So I'm enrolled students. So I will click that, and then you will put in your email, and you will also put your password, and then you will go next. And then you'll enter into our study portal. We have PT as well as NATI CCL. So first we click on PTE, right? And then on PTE, you can see a whole heap of videos here. All the tabs are lying on the left-hand side. We are constantly working with this, and we are coming up with really good resources in the future. So from here, you will be able to access all those tabs. So today we are going to do just practice. We are going to practice some questions so that you can get some feedback. And in practice, after that, you can get like speaking, writing, reading, and listening. So I'm going to click onto speaking, and then in speaking, I'm going to click on to read aloud, right? So don't worry about the first question. I'm going to skip these questions, and I'm going to take some latest questions from 551, right? So in read aloud, what happens? They give you, 2 or 3 lines to read for computer, right? And you have 35 seconds of preparation time, and then you have, after that there's a beep sound, and after that you start speaking. You should read it clearly as possible with minimal hesitations, and as natural as possible. Okay, so that is pretty much what you need to do in this. So what I'm going to do, let me write your names so that in the end I'm able to pinpoint who is doing what. So don't worry about this screen so far. Let me check how many people we have so far. Yep, so we have Urvi, we have Manjinder, we have Mariama. Mariama, do you have any short name?
Yeah, Doris.
Doris, yes, Doris. I think that's better. Do you want to change that on Zoom setting? And
Sure.
Jeev. And then we have Priya. And then we have Urvi, which is here already. And there's one more person connecting, so I'm going to ask him or her later. Samjana, can you hear me, Samjana? Samjana, are you able to hear me? Okay, so I'm going to speak a name of the person when I hit a restart button, and that person will go through the whole thing. So you will read the prompt, we will record your response, and then we will listen to this, and we will provide you feedback, and we will figure out some difficult words, their meanings, and what best you can do in that particular question, right? Remember, read aloud has a 3 scoring criteria: content, right? And then oral fluency and pronunciation. A lot of people worry about oral fluency and pronunciation, but I have to say here, oral fluency and pronunciation will only make sense once you have the right content. So your intensity, your intention, not intensity, your intention should be to score maximum in your content. Okay, so first one is going to be for, when I click next button, first one is going to be for Manjinder. Manjinder, please unmute yourself. And please ask if you think you have any difficult word which you're not sure about pronunciation in between.
Yep. What about stimuli or stimuli?
Good question. What do you think, guys? Stimuli.
I think stimuli.
Mhm.
Okay.
Start.
We humans have the ability to perceive things through our senses. Even but when it has gone out of senses, we still have retained a faint impression of such in our minds. The retained impression of stimuli into our brain is called memory, and the collection of episodes of this memory can then be referred to as experience.
So I'm going to play the audio we have just recorded from you, and we will try to see what kind of errors you're making, which will affect your score in speaking. Okay. Right. How did you go overall? What do you think you did? Are you
Yeah.
response?
No, I got stuck with because I was just doing on my phone. I'm just trying to log in on my laptop. That's why I missed my.
That's fine. But however you have recorded, I'm going to give you feedback on that, right? Start. So the first mistake was humans. So that mistake. So you missed that sound. Okay, so that is the first mistake. And then I'm going to go next. Through our senses. It has gone. So you had a bit of error here, a little bit of fumble here. It right here. Yep, and then we still have retained the same impression of such in our mind. Okay, so again, you had issues with mind. So what you did, you just skipped that plural sound here again. Okay. The retained impression of stimuli into our brain is called memory, and the collection of episodes of this memory can then be referred to as experience. Okay, so and then you had another mistake, fumble here, somewhere here. So now in this, although it is a reasonable response, but this is not the response which is going to give you maximum score. So I believe that out of 5 marks in oral fluency, 5 marks in content, and 5 marks in pronunciation, I would grade it somewhere close to 10 because you had some unnatural hesitations along the way. Yes. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to rate this for you guys if I would rate it. Okay. So when I sit exam, when we do exam, if I'm approaching read aloud, I always use my pointer to guide me. Okay. If you're reading, and keep your hands free. Your headphones, you should not put your hands on your headphones or anywhere. I know you try to focus and you try to avoid noise coming from your next door neighbors, but try to keep your hands free. Okay. When you're reading. So when humans have the ability to perceive things through our senses, so it was not when. So if you do make mistake, don't come back and correct it. I realize something was wrong there. Just keep following. If that mistake is one of mistake in 7 read alouds, it won't make any difference in your score. You'll still get maximum. Right? Even when it has gone out of sense, we still have retained a faint expression. This word, faint. Right? Do you know what is the meaning of faint? Anyone? Can anyone tell me the meaning of faint? No? So let me observe. Yeah, what is the meaning of faint?
It's opposite of bright.
Yeah. Faint means minor. In here, especially in this read aloud, the meaning of faint means small, very minor. Okay. But faint is also used when you actually faint. Suppose if you haven't eaten well and then you are working or you are stressed for one or the other reason, you just go out, means kind of die out. That is faint. So he faint. Here the faint meaning is, the meaning of faint word here is specifically something that is very small or very minimal. Okay, small, faint impression is very tiny. All right, so I'm going to clear all the feedback and then I'm going to go to next. Now I have some of you here. I want to ask Karamjit. Karamjit, can you hear me? Please
Yes, sir.
unmute yourself and you're going to be the next one.
Okay, sir.
Very good.
The Australian mining industry accounts for 75% of the country's exports, contributes significantly to Australia's workforce, and is a leading influence on Australia's standard of living, rising incomes, and flourishing economy. Australia has discovered first-class mineral deposits in Western Australia, South Australia, and Queensland, but there are more regions to explore.
So how did you go?
So I have fumbled so many times.
Yeah, not so many.
And
times.
I
It was a good
did.
response. Just there were a few errors here and there, right? Okay, so
Yes,
let's
sir.
look at some of your errors here.
The Australian mining industry accounts for 75% of the country's exports, contributes significantly to Australia's workforce, and is a leading influence on.
So how do you speak this word?
Influence.
It is not influence. It is in. So first syllable is in, second is flu, and then ends. Influence. This is a common
Influence.
mistake in Punjabi students. A very common mistake in Punjabi. We generally call it influence. It is not flance. It is not FLENCE. It is influence. So in, flu,
Influence.
and then ends. Influence, not influence. There is U sound.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the mistake there. Influence on Australia's standard of living. Yeah, let's go next.
Australia's standard of living, rising incomes, and flourishing economy.
So you were not able to
Flourishing.
Yeah, flourishing. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
flourishing means growing.
Gr-
I think that is mushrooming or growing.
Australia has discovered first-class mineral
So here you had some fumble.
Mineral.
deposits in Western Australia, South Australia, and Queensland, but there are more reasons to explore.
So don't just give up towards the end, but there are more reasons to explore. So this
Yes,
part
sir.
was not very it sounded like not very clear. Okay?
Yes, sir.
But apart from
Absolutely.
that, your speech is natural, and
Mhm.
even if you have those tiny errors here and there, I would be happy to give you say 85 or 90% in this read aloud.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it was a good
Yes.
response. All right.
Okay.
Next one is going to be Samjhana. Samjhana, can you hear me, Samjhana? Please unmute yourself. If you are able to unmute yourself, please do it so that we can record your response. Okay, if you don't respond, then I'm going to get someone else to do it. Sushma, are you able to hear me, Sushma? Okay, so you guys are not responding, so I'm going to give next one to Urvi. Urvi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So when I click next, Urvi, it would be your turn.
Succulents have long been one of the most popular types of indoor plants. They are variety of reasons for their popularity. They come in a wide range of shapes and size and require very little care in the way of watering and puring. Sorry.
So let's see. No, that's fine. You were going well until the first part, much better than where you were when you just started the class. Okay. So you're improving, and I'm happy with your improvement. Remember, I have to say here to everyone, okay? Never look at where you start. Always look at where you can end in life, okay? Everyone has to start somewhere, right? So don't make any comparisons, right? Because you are special, all of you. Each and every one of you is special, okay? No one can take your part. So you guys are special. Just consider this, right? But we all come from different backgrounds. We all have different levels of education, levels of English, levels of income, everything. We all come from different backgrounds, but it doesn't really affect the way you can end, right? So if you have the right direction and if you work hard, you can achieve what you want in your life. All right, just give me a sec. Let me, Manjinder, you asked me how to be pronounced the first word, Manjinder. Yes, you could have asked me. Yeah. So first word. So let's have a look at first word. So whenever you have S and U, that sounds as S sound. In most cases, S. So that would be S. For example, there's another word, such. So this word also starts with SU, right? So that sound comes at S. And then this is Ch. So this is S. So here also sa. Now here we have double C. So that sound comes K. And then U, ku, succulent. And then there is S. So that becomes succulents. Succulents. Now we know that it is a plural, right? We can only make nouns plural. So we now know that this is actually a noun, succulents. So actually they have referred it to plants. They are kind of plants, succulents. Have you ever heard of cactus? Cactus? Do you guys know cactus?
Yes, sir.
Cactus is succulent plant because it has a lot of water stored within the leaves. The leaves are thick. Okay, so they are making reference to those kind of plants in the category of cactus. So we call it succulents.
Succulents.
Okay, so let's play. Is that clear, Manjinder?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, let's move on. So I'm going to play the audio which we have recorded. So first error was.
Succulents have long been one of the most popular types of indoor plants. They are variety.
So you missed that S. Okay, and then first fumble here.
Of reasons for their popularity.
So you missed this part as well. So say they are, not they are, there are.
There are.
There and are, not there are.
They come in a wide range of shapes and
That's
sizes.
another fumble here.
And require.
And then here you said size, not size, sizes.
Very little care in.
So this word is not literally, little. There's no stress on this E, little, not literally, little.
The way of watering and curing.
So this word is not pruning, this is
Pruning.
pruning. There's R as well, pruning. Right?
Yes.
Pruning. So pruning would be per and then this pruning in Hindi.
Pruning.
I hope I'm writing pruning. So you can even another sound here. That is pruning. That's in Hindi. All right. Next one is going to be Doris. Doris, are you ready? Doris, are you ready? Okay, so she's not here. Priya then. Priya?
Yes, sir.
Good. That's that one for you, please.
Meteors and meteorites are objects from space that enter our atmosphere as they are pulled by Earth's gravity. Meteors usually burn up as they enter the atmosphere. This creates streaks in the sky as though a star has fallen. They are commonly called shooting stars. A large meteor called a meteorite can reach the ground and create a crater.
That is a very good response. Okay. All right. So there are some difficult words. Okay.
Yes.
Urvi, I'm going to ask you, how do we say this?
Meteors.
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 And how do we say this?
Meteorites.
Meteorites. क्या होते हैं meteorites? What is
Don't know.
what is meteorite? So these are like rocks. They are kind of rocks in space, right?
Okay.
Rocks in space, like big rocks. For example, half the size of moon, or maybe 1 or 2 kilometers. They're so big. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So we call them meteors and meteorites. Right.
Meteorites.
जो हिंदी लोग जानते हैं उनको ये पता है कि तारा गिरता है नीचे, है ना? सुना है आपने शूटिंग स्टार? तो एक्चुअली मीटियोराइट होता है जब वो अर्थ की तरफ आता है तो हवा में ये बर्न कर जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ द हीट प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय एंटरिंग इन द एटमॉस्फेयर, जो फ्रिक्शन के वजह से, दैट इज नोन एज ए मीटियोराइट और मीटियोर. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to listen to this response from that was from Priya, and then see with her fumbles or errors.
Meteors and meteorites are objects from space that enter our atmosphere as they are pulled by Earth's gravity. Meteors usually burn up as they enter the atmosphere. This creates streaks in the sky as though a star has fallen. They are commonly called shooting stars. A large meteor called a meteorite can reach the ground and create a crater.
Wonderful. I would be happy to give you, I would say, 95% of my marks in this, because you had a natural intonation, your pronunciation is acceptable level, I could understand most of the words, you reflected most of the pauses properly, there was no fumble in any word, so that is a really good response.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's move on. I'm going to get because there are a few students who are unable to speak, so I'm going to now give turns back to existing students. The next one is going to be Urvi again. Urvi, are you ready, Urvi?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Metallic ores occur in every kind of rock and some varieties of soil. The metallic mineral are concentrate into rich masses by igneous hydrothermal or watering process. Metals such as chromium, platinum, nickel, copper and iron, and can participate as sulfide minerals in a cooling body of magma. Cooling body of the magma.
Difficult one for you, right? Okay,
So,
let's go one by one. All right.
Somewhat.
So, metallic ores occur in, so that is
Occur, yeah.
not occur in
Occur.
every kind of rock and some varieties of soil. The metallic minerals are concentrated into rich masses by igneous, hydrothermal or weathering processes. Metals such as chromium. This is chromium. CHRO.
Chromium, yes.
Chromium. This is platinum.
Platinum,
This is
nickel.
nickel. This is not platinum. It is platinum. There's no I.
Platinum.
Platinum. And then nickel and copper and iron. So in iron, R is silent. So we do speak it like this: iron. R is no R letter is silent. Iron can precipitate. This is precipitate as a sulfide. F-I-D-E, fide, and before fide you have sul, S-U-L.
Sulfide
right?
minerals
Minerals in a
cooling body of magma.
not cooling, cooling.
Okay.
Can you say that? Cooling.
Cooling.
Cooling. Not like cooling, say like this, cooling.
Cooling, okay.
Yeah, cooling, because there
Body
is
of magma.
body of, and what is this?
Magma.
Magma. Do you know what is magma?
Some type of magnet. No, sir.
How about magma hota hai lava?
Lava, हाँ.
Right? This is
Yes.
lava, magma. How about learning the words here? How about learning the words here and also learning them for your spelling, which could come in your listening fill in the blanks, or they could even give you an audio about volcanoes, and in which magma would be one word. It could be your summarized spoken text too.
Yes.
Okay, so always learn the words which you see, right? Do you know what is the meaning of concentrated?
Yes, concentrate, like किसी भी चीज पे concentrate करना, like उस पे ध्यान देके.
But how about here? इस यहाँ पे भी ध्यान देने का मतलब है concentrated से?
फोकस करना किसी पे, वही ना? मतलब
क्या
नहीं, यहाँ पे तो different meaning होगा.
Yep.
Like seriously, I don't know.
Yeah. Manjinder, what would you say? What is the meaning of concentrated here? Manjinder? Or Priya? Priya, what do you think is the meaning of concentrated?
I know the meaning of concentrated, but don't know what the meaning in this
Concentrated means
sentence.
dense.
Maybe
Dense. Yeah.
Dense, dense. Concentrated means packed. Packed means something very dense.
Okay.
Into rich masses by igneous. And igneous is a specific word. When we talk about igneous, comes with rocks. These are kind of rocks, igneous. How do you speak this word? Igneous.
Yes.
Igneous. So there were many difficult words here, especially for you. You are going to come across maybe a couple of read alouds like that in the exam. But what would you do if that does? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the restart button and I'm going to get Manjinder to do the same, please. Manjinder?
Yep, just one sec, sorry. Okay, 5576. Yep.
Start.
Metallic ores occur in every kind of rock and some varieties of soil. The metallic minerals are concentrated into rich masses by igneous, hydrothermal, or weathering processes. Metals such as chromium, platinum, nickel, copper, and iron can precipitate as sulfide minerals in a cooling body of magma.
Yeah, so you have fumbles there.
Yes.
That's a reason that you would miss out on those easy few marks there. Maybe in content I would give you instead of 5, I would give you say 4 or even 3, because you're missing some of those words. I know you can do much better. Do you want to do that again?
Yeah, okay. Sure. Sorry. Metallic ores occur in every kind of rock and some varieties of soil. The metallic minerals are concentrated into rich masses by igneous, hydrothermal, or weathering processes. Metals such as chromium, platinum, nickel, copper, and iron can participate as sulfide minerals in a cooling body of magma.
All right. So, guys, let's move on from here. So you got much better in the second go. All right. Next one is going to be for Karamjit. Karam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Start when you're hit the beep sound, please.
Okay, sir. Today, government-granted monopolies may be found in public utility services such as public roads, mail, water supply, and electric power, as well as certain specialized fields such as education. In many countries, lucrative natural resources such as petroleum are controlled through government-granted monopolies. Franchises granted by governments to operate public transit through public roads are another example.
Okay, let's have a look.
Today, government granted monopolies may be found in public utility services such as public roads, mail, water supply, and electric power, as well as certain specialized fields such as education. In many countries, lucrative natural resources such as petroleum are controlled through government-granted monopolies. Franchises granted by government to operate public transit through public roads are another example.
Okay, so how do we speak this word?
Through.
Can you say that again?
Control through
No,
government.
just the next
Through.
word. Yeah, not throw, through.
Through.
Yeah, OU, through.
Yes.
So read it like this.
Through. Right.
So you're having slight fumbles here and there. Okay.
Because, sir, I thought it's mall, like public roads and mall. That's why I fumbled between roads and mail.
Oh, so they're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Public roads, mail, water supply, and electric power. Mail means, delivering
Yes, sir.
letters to the.
But I don't know why I keep hitting in my head that it's mall.
That's one. So you're doing well in this. You just need to. Okay. So how do we speak this word?
Lucrative.
Lucrative. Do you know the meaning of lucrative? Very
No,
good.
sir.
Lucrative.
No, sir.
Limited.
Is there anyone who knows the meaning of lucrative?
Limited.
Well done, Sanjeev. Thank God you spoke. That's good. I'm going to give you next one to read for you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So lucrative means, what did you say?
Limited.
Limited.
Yeah.
Lucrative means, you can mute yourself. I'll tell you the meaning. Lucrative means financially attractive.
Okay.
Something which is financially attractive. Lucrative only comes when we talk about, most cases when we talk about money. For example, lucrative natural resources means natural resources which can help governments or the companies to make a lot of money. For example, if I have a mine, or if I found a mine where we have a lot of ore, say iron or gold or whatever it is, that would be known as lucrative natural resource. When we talk about lucrative job, that means a job in which you can earn a lot of money, financially attractive. Sometimes we also call lucrative offer. For example, I could not deny his lucrative offer. means something which is financially attractive. Very good adjective to learn, lucrative. Very good word. I mean, you can impress someone when if you're able to use this word in the right context. Okay. All right. So Sanjeev, now you have here, you are here. So I'm going to give you next question to do. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
I know your background is noisy, but I'm happy to provide as much as feedback as I can from my side. There we go.
Thank you.
Give yourself while you are in the preparation time, okay? When you start
Most
speaking,
drinks, also known as cold drinks, are functional beverages whose stated purpose is to have athletic at after training competition. The effects on performance. Sports drinks, also known as electrolyte drinks, are functional beverages whose stated purpose is to help athletes replace water, electrolytes, and energy before, during, and especially after training or competition. Do their effects on performance in sports and exercise have been questioned?
that was fine. Just let me stop this. All right, few basic errors. How do we say this word?
Do?
Not do, though.
Though.
Speak it like this.
Though.
Though, not do.
Though.
I know we saw another word in which I asked you guys to say THROUGH. I asked you guys to say through. So you thought that here we have TOOU and here we have OU. Why not to call it do? This is English is a funny language. The same rule does not apply everywhere, right? So this word is a though. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And your pronunciation seems to be okay, but do you come from Nepalese background? Your native
Yes,
language
sir.
is. So when you say electrolyte, so basically what we have seen for students coming from Nepalese background, they struggle in those all the E and S sound. For example, if I call this word, I would call it electrolyte. But if you call it, you will call electrolyte. So you try to put E and E sound every time. So it is not E sound. Just keep in mind, any E sound that becomes A sound. So electrolyte rather than electrolyte. Similar issue comes with the students coming from Gujarati background. You know, some of you are watching this video, hopefully, if live or even after this video stays on YouTube. So that E sound always, rather than having that strong E sound, that E sound becomes an A sound, right? How would you say this word?
Athletes.
Yeah, that was fine. This word?
Exercise.
That's fine. Yep, as well. Yep, so not many words here. How do we say this word?
Especially.
Yeah, not specially, especially.
Especially.
Yeah, especially. Yep.
Especially. Oh, not
You see
E.
the face while
Especially.
I speak this word, especially.
Especially. Okay.
Yeah, I say especially. So you open face, especially, not especially. Look at the movement. Look at the moment. When I say especially, I say especially. My mouth does not open to reflect that vowel sound. When I say especially, then I open my mouth. Okay, so
Okay.
don't try to fumble between your lips only. You have to open your mouth as well.
Especially.
Especially.
Especially. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put all of you on mute and then let me check how many people are here. Okay, so I'm going to again check some Jhana. Are you able to talk to us or not, so that I could give you feedback if possible? Okay, if you don't respond, then that's fine. You can keep listening to what we are doing here. All right, we are going to move on, and then next one is going to be our Priya.
Yes, sir.
Start when you're ready, okay, with beep sound.
European intellectuals have often used the word indigenous as a placeholder for what they refer to as primitive or uncivilized. However, in anthropological terms, the word indigenous doesn't mean any more or less than a species being produced, growing, living, or occurring naturally in particular region or environment.
Just give me a sec, and we'll just
Yes.
start reviewing your answer. Here we go. Let me play this.
European intellectuals have often used the word indigenous as the placeholder for what they refer to as primitive or uncivilized. However, in anthropological terms, the word indigenous doesn't mean any more or less than a species being produced, growing, living, or occurring naturally in particular region or environment.
Okay, so let's pay attention to,
Just give me a sec.
let's pay attention to pronunciation of these words. So how do we say this word?
Indigenous,
How do we say this word?
okay, occurring.
Okay, so Karamjeet, can you speak this word?
Indigenous,
Okay, and this word?
occurring.
Okay, Manjinder, can you speak this word?
Yep, it's indigenous,
Okay, and this word?
occurring.
Yep, I'm not surprised. All of you come from Punjabi background. Okay, next one. Now I'm going to ask now Sanjeev. Sanjeev, can you speak this word? Sanjeev, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
What is this word?
Indigenous.
Okay, same.
Indigenous.
And how about this?
Occurring.
Okay. How about you, Urvi? Can you mute yourself, please? How about you, Urvi?
Yes, sir.
Urvi?
Indigenous,
And this?
occurring.
Okay. So let's look at this word. This word is indigenous.
Genus.
There is no genius. There is no Genious. There's no I here. So it can never be indigenous. It is indigenous. Okay. IN, that's my first syllable. And then DI is my second syllable. And then third syllable is genus. Genus, OUS, indigenous. So more stress on in this I, indigenous, rather than ingenious. If you say indigenous, then it is going to be altogether a different word. Okay. Now let's look at this word. This is a common word which most of the people get incorrect. So first of all, there are two things. First thing, the foremost thing, most important thing here is k sound. Remember all the k sounds, they become like KH sounds, k sounds, right? In English, we call these plosives, right? Plosives. These are called plosive sounds. So there are 3-4 common plosive sounds. There are like 6-7 of them, but to be very specific, or which forms the major chunk of those plosive sounds is C. So for example, C, we generally say car, right? If you come from a non-native background. But if you listen to native speakers, they would always say car. Have you ever noticed this difference?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So why do they say car and we say car? Because there are plosive sounds. In our languages, there are no plosive sounds. We have that soft C, car, but here they say car. Similarly, C, so that is first plosive sound. Similarly, T sound is also plosive sound. So instead of calling T, we call technology. However, they call technology, like TH, technology. Similarly, P sound becomes PH. So park, not park.
Park.
So if you use some of those sounds, plosive sounds, and also here C sound here, that would be occurring rather than occurring.
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 Okay, now I'm also going to show you, while this whole thing is here, I'm also going to show you here. I'm going to open. So if you want to check pronunciation of a word, what should you do? Okay. I think it should be similar. Listen to this.
Occur. Occur.
Occur.
Occur.
Occur.
Occur.
Occur.
Occur. Not occur.
Occur.
Occur. Let me check. I specifically, I write the word and I write pronunciation on top of that. Just give me a sec. Let me clear all the drawings. Now, if you say, so this is actually, if you search a word, this shows your syllables. So and occur, occur, occur. That's
Occur.
it.
Occur.
So this is occur. And then obviously if you have ing, occurring.
Yes.
Okay. So and occur. Now let's occur. Now let's look at this here. And you have different sounds in say
Occur. Occur.
occur. That's British and American.
Occur.
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 But never occur. We call occur. It is not occur. It is occur. Occur.
Occur.
Occur. So more stress on K and U. This, especially this U.
Yeah.
Remember, what is the difference between 65 and 64? That extra mark can even come from here. Okay, pronunciation. A lot of you are struggling in pronunciation. I have seen many scorecards in which people range from pronunciation from 50 to 55. This is mostly a pronunciation score if your pronunciation is not up to the mark, 50 or 55. Now, if you have pronunciation 50 to 55, if we are able to push that pronunciation to say 65 plus, then what is going to happen? Your speaking score is, which is almost 1/3 of your pronunciation score, right? It is going to jump by at least 3 to 4 points, right? So your 61 can become 65. Your 65 can become 69, right? So it is worth it. It is worth paying attention. Now, how to learn pronunciation? Obviously, this is not overnight thing. This is not something that you can learn overnight. Watch news, talk to native speakers of language and see how they move their mouth parts to speak that specific word. And use Google pronunciation as well to help you with this. I wish there was a trick for pronunciation. Okay, I always say this, right? So there were many words. Now let me play this sound again.
European intellectuals have often used the word indigenous as the placeholder for what they refer to as primitive or uncivilized. However, in anthropological terms, the word indigenous doesn't mean any more or less than a species being produced, growing, living, or occurring naturally in particular region or environment. Okay, so it was a reasonable response. I would be happy to give you at least 80 to 85. Okay, but that word indigenous.
Indigenous.
Do you know what is the meaning of indigenous? What is the meaning of this word? Indigenous simply means native. Native. That is actually synonym for indigenous. Belonging to a specific area or a specific sect. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next one is going to be Sanjeev. Are you able to do next one?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Keep yourself muted, and when you start speaking, only then unmute yourself. Okay. You have background noise.
One thing all deserts have in common is that they are arid or dry. Most experts agree that a desert is an area of land that receives no more than 25 centimeters or 10 inches of precipitation a year. The amount of evaporation in a desert often greatly exceeds the annual rainfall.
Okay. So can you speak this word?
Exceeds,
Yeah, exceeds.
exceeds,
Okay, S in the end.
exceeds. Okay,
Exceed. That's a verb with that sound. Okay. Now let's
okay, sir.
play the audio and look at those minor things.
One thing all deserts have in common is that they are arid or dry. Most experts agree that a desert is an area of land that receives no more than. One thing all deserts.
How do we say this word?
Desert,
Desert, not desert.
des-
This is
desert.
desert. DESERT. Right? Is there any other desert, or is there any other word, something similar word like this with double S?
Double S.
Yeah, if you write this.
Oh yeah, it's eating. Like
Yes, something
Desert.
sweet. We call it dessert.
desert.
This is dessert. This is desert.
Desert. There.
Desert. This is dessert. This is dessert is Swedish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
Yes,
is
sir.
deserts. Not
Desert.
deserts.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and then apart from that, it sounded okay. How do we say this word?
Precipitation.
It is not
Piti-
press. It is not
Precipitation.
precipitation. It is
Precipitation.
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 Precipitation. Okay.
Okay.
Precipitation.
Precipitation.
Precipitation. Okay. Next one is going to be Urvi.
In some people, green tea extract can cause stomach upset and constipation. Green tea extracts have been reported to cause liver and kidney problem in rare cases. Drinking green tea is possibly unsafe when consumed for a long time or in high doses. Say more than 8 cups per day.
All right. So let's have a look.
In some people, green tea extract can
Okay.
cause
So
stomach.
first, not extract, extract,
Extract.
extract, not aced. It is not extract. It is not extract.
Extract.
It is extract.
Stomach upset and constipation. Green
Constipation.
This is not constipation.
This is
Constipation.
constipation.
tea extracts have been reported to cause
Not report, reported.
Oh, sorry.
And then not cause.
Cause.
liver and kidney problems in rare cases. Drinking green tea is possibly unsafe when consumed for a long time or in high doses. Say more more than 8 cups per day.
So don't repeat. It says say more the, and then
All
say
right,
so
so
more than
let's
8 cups per day. So don't repeat anything here. Even if you have made mistake, just keep reading on.
Yes, sir.
Read every day. Okay. Next one is Manjinder. Manjinder, when you're ready.
Chess is one of the oldest strategy games in the world. Chess develops such skills as tactics, strategy, and visual memory. People with lots of experience playing at chess have highly developed thinking abilities, memory, and fluid intelligence. Fluid intelligence is the ability to consider new kinds of problems and use reasoning to solve them.
It looks fine to me. Somehow I feel that you try to put stress on the last word. You see that?
Yes.
Chess is one of the oldest strategy games in the world. Chess develops
So say chess is one of the oldest strategy games in the world, rather than in the world.
Yeah, okay.
skills as tactics, strategy, and visual memory. People with
So
lots
that was pretty good, and visual memory, that was pretty good.
of experience playing at chess have highly developed thinking ability, memory, and fluid intelligence.
See that? And fluid intelligence, not memory and fluid intelligence.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Intelligence is the ability to consider new kinds of problems and use reasoning to solve them.
Yeah, so you do not have any added word or any words which are mispronounced, but just that little extra stress on the last word, try to avoid it. That was Next one is going to be again Karam. Karam, when you are ready.
Yes. Stars are giant balls of hot gases that can produce their own light. Stars give out energy by converting hydrogen gas into helium in their core. Stars are gigantic in size and have an immense gravitational attraction. The sun is a medium sized star that gives us energy and makes life possible on Earth.
How did you go? So your reading score is low, right?
Yes, sir.
Something has to take from read aloud too for that.
Okay.
Okay, let's listen to your errors.
Stars are giant balls of hot
How do we say this word?
Giant balls.
Not giant, giant.
Giant.
Okay. How do we say this? If I write that in Hindi,
Giant.
ja, and then say giant.
Yes, sir. Giant.
Okay, giant. That's how we say giant. So you are saying giant.
Yeah.
This is incorrect. This is giant.
Giant.
You should have these two, right? So stars are giant balls of hot gases. All right, let's listen to this.
gases that can produce their own light.
Okay, how do we say this word?
Produce.
Yeah, always reflect this produce.
Produce.
Not produce, not like per and use. Not per. Always put that produce. Promote, produce, production. If you don't put stress on this error is known as vowel reduction.
Okay.
Not putting enough emphasis on the vowel sounds. Guys, note this word and Google it. Vowel reduction. This is a common error in pronunciation for English as a non-native language learners of English, right? Next one.
Stars give out energy by converting hydrogen gas into helium in their core.
See that core, not core, cores.
Course.
Stars are direct.
So this word gigantic,
Gigantic. Yes, sir.
gigantic means very big, huge.
Yeah.
They peak in size and have an immense gravitational attraction. The sun is the medium size.
So now you just attraction the sun. So you're not you didn't reflect this pause. Gravitational attraction. Then you say
Yeah.
small gap and then say the sun is.
Okay.
Star that gives us energy and makes life possible on Earth.
Yeah, that part was last part was.
How did you go?
Next one is
So your
Priya.
rating score is
Start. Priya. Oh,
It's me. It's for me. Sorry.
yeah.
Lakes and ponds are a diverse set of inland freshwater habitats that exist across the globe and provide essential resources and habitats for both terrestrial and aquatic organisms. Although widely distributed and vital for many species, including humans, these habitats account for just over 3% of the Earth's surface. These rare systems are threatened by the human demand for freshwater.
It looks fine, but because you have a lot of disturbance at the back,
Yeah, yes, sir.
you have to hear some words clearly. So I'm going to pass this question to someone else. I'm going to have Urbi on the same question. Urbi.
Lake and ponds are a diverse set of island freshwater habits that the exists across the global and provide essential resource and habits for both the and organizations, although widely disturbed and vital for many species, including humans. These habits account for just over 3% of the Earth's surface. These rare systems are trend they three trends by the human demand of fresh water.
I think Urbi, we have done this before and you have the same errors, right? Okay, so first of all, how do we say this word?
Ponds.
Yeah, so you were about to say pounds. It is not pound, it's pond.
Ponds.
Pond means talab,
Talab, yes.
right? Okay, so how do we say this word? Diverse.
Diverse. Diverse. मैंने diverse बोला.
Diverse.
I say diverse, yes.
And how do we say this word?
Habits.
How come it is habits?
Habitats, sorry.
Yeah, habitats. Just give me,
Habitats, yes.
guys, I have to take this call. Just give me a second.
Yeah, habitats. Fresh water. Lake and ponds are rivers. Essential. Essential resource and habitats for terrestrial
Okay. And then let's go move on to this. How do we say this word, Urbi?
exist.
Yeah, that's good. And how do we say this word?
Essential.
Essential.
Essential, yes.
And this?
Resource.
And this?
Globe.
Globe. Not globe. Globe.
Globe.
This?
Okay. Habitats.
Not tates. Habitats.
Habitats.
This?
Terrestrial.
Terrestrial.
Terrestrial. Terrestrial.
How do we say this?
Spices.
Wait, masala thodi is
Species.
spice.
Oh, species. Sorry.
Species.
Species.
And how do we say this?
Organizations.
कैसे organization कैसे है ये?
Organisms.
Organism.
Organism. Organism.
Organisms.
Organism. God.
As nisms.
Nisms. Yes.
And how do we say this?
Here trend.
Okay, चलो इसको छोड़ दो एंड वाले को, इसको बोलो, आधे शब्द को बोलो जहां तक रेड लाइन से पहले
Treat.
Not threat, threat.
Threat. Yes.
And that will become threatened.
Threatened.
Okay. Now I want all of you to. So we have. I think we have done. I've done. Feedback for at least 3 or 4 read alouds for each of you, and we've done a lot of discussion. I want you guys to ask any questions you have now so far. Anything related to PT you want to ask, you have.
Mahendra, can we skip if we think like there is something like very difficult word, we will pronounce it wrong. So can we skip that or we have to do that?
Okay, so content scoring says Pearson's score guide says any word you skip, okay, or you skip or you add, right, or you, so skip means delete, add and replace. Any of things you do out of that, for one word, the content score will jump from 5 to 4.
Okay.
So whether you do this or you do this or you do this, you are going to lose 1 point.
Okay.
So rather, my strategy, the best strategy would be to speak the word. Because
Okay.
if you speak it, there is likely possibility you might get it right. But if you don't speak it at all, but when you speak it, all you just have to be careful about is when you speak it, don't speak it again and again. When we realize in the first go, okay, I've spoken it incorrectly, I'm going to correct it. Because if you correct it, then you're going to end up adding another word in it, and it is going to give you further low mark.
Okay.
So first thing is speak it, but don't revise it or repeat it again and again.
Okay.
My advice would be that, rather than completely skipping. Remember, when you get into the habit of skipping, then in 7 read alouds, suppose if you get like 6 words, which were, you were not confident about, and you're skipping all of them, now it becomes, remember, PT gives a score on the basis of algorithm. Do you know what is algorithm mean? Algorithm simply means how many times. So if you use the same kind of trick to get around, there's likely possibility the algorithm is going to detect that there is something unnatural. So speak the word, okay, but don't revise it again and again. Right?
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
I hope all of you liked this session. I mean, it was a detailed feedback on very specific different words. Many of you would watch this video after, because I'm live on YouTube, you would watch this video after we have gone through. I'm also going to mention here we are almost about to finish the session. I'm also going to mention here, you know that 16th of November, from 16th of November, 2021, right? And after that, now your exam, instead of 3 hours, or it used to take like 2.5 to 3 hours, is going to be only 2 hours. Now, what is changing here, right, is just the time and the number of questions. Mainly, so describe image. Initially, we used to have how many? 6 to 7. How many did you get, Manjinder, yesterday?
I got 7.
Yeah, so 6 to 7, that will change to 3 to 4. And then retail lecture, how many did you get yesterday?
3.
3. So instead of 3, now you're going to get only 1, 2. Right? And then there's answer short questions, I think. Answer short questions, instead of getting 10 to 12, you only get 5 to 6. It used to be 10 to 12. So what is going to happen when you change this number of questions? Now there are less number of questions. So in overall mark, your read aloud and repeat sentence will pick up more weightage. They will pick a little bit more weightage. Okay, no one knows it, but I know it. This is why Pearson has done it. Read aloud and repeat sentence will even carry more weightage now. I would say this weightage will increase at least by 10 to 15% in read aloud and repeat sentence. So work with your content part in repeat sentence. Content is super important, even in read aloud too. Now that was for speaking, and when we talk about writing, so summarized written text used to be 2 to 3. How many did you get yesterday? Manjinder, how many did you get yesterday?
Summarized text, I got 3 and 1 essay.
Yeah, so 3. Now it is going to be only 1 or maximum 2, mostly 1, I believe. And then write essay has always been, 1, most of the cases, sometimes rarely 2, but it would stay as it is. And then reading module, MCQs, whatever the MCQs we have, both kinds, single answer and multiple answer, both of them used to be 2 to 3. Now they're only going to be 1 or maximum 2, mostly 1. Now, how it is going to affect your reading is that we know that MCQs were not important. So we used to, suppose for 4 MCQs, allocated time would be at least 8 minutes. So you always had 8 minutes extra so that you could put those 8 minutes in reorder paragraph and both kind of FIBs. Now, because those MCQs are not there anymore, there are only 1 to 2. So you are going to, you are going to get a little bit of shock on the time management as well. So make sure you manage time well in reading module, because here they are cutting short these 4 minutes, these 8 to 4 straight away if you only get 2 questions. Okay, so time management, you really need to worry about after those changes, time management. Okay, so we are going to update all our mock tests just on a couple of days before the exam date, before those new changes come. So you will be, if you're watching our video on YouTube, you will be able to take all those mock tests, 2 or 3 days before those changes are happening with the new pattern. So make sure you make a login on our website, which is endeavorstudy.com.au, and also you hit a like on our subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and also hit like on our Facebook page if you really want to see some of the success stories. So this is going to make your reading a little bit tighter. Now when we talk about listening module, in listening module obviously MCQs are changing again from 2 to 3. to just 1, right? And then similarly, you have another unimportant questions like missing word again from 2 to 3, changing to 1 or 2, mostly 1. And then again, highlight correct summary is changing from 2 to 3 to 1 as well. So again, that will put a little bit of effect, that will affect a little bit of your time management in listening module too, but nothing major change, nothing major has happened here in listening module. Okay. Do you guys have any other question apart from this? Any question?
No, sir. Thank you.
That's fine. So that is the end of the session. If you have any question, you can even contact us on the given number. So numbers, I'm going to show you that here again. So you can contact us on WhatsApp on this number. If you're located in India, in Sri Lanka, in Australia, any part of the world, all you just do is remove this 0, add +61 and 455 903 and 521, and you can directly talk to. We offer online coaching, we offer coaching in the center, and we have lots of videos in our portal, lots of YouTube videos. Subscribe to our channel. If you want to do it right now, that'll be great. So that you don't miss any updates. We will be conducting many live classes in future directly. They will be broadcasted on our YouTube channel. Okay, well done, guys. You stayed with me for 1.5 hours, and you also got a lot of feedback on your read alouds. If you still have any questions, you can post it on comment box. Okay. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you guys soon again. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.